Today, I'm going to be answering questions that single people ask. The inspiration from this video came from Ife's Kitchen's post. She's a food blogger on Instagram, and the other day I was on the streets of Instagram and I saw something she posted where she said, "Singles, ask a question about marriage. Married ones, please answer the questions." I can relate to a lot of the questions that were asked in the comments because, to be very honest, when I was single, these were some of the questions I had. Some of them are just wondering what really happens in a marriage. I was the first person in my family to get married. I didn't really have friends that got married way before me. I'm not close to any of my senior cousins, so some of the things I wondered about marriage, I never really had an opportunity to ask them. But today I'm going to be quenching your own curiosity. So I'm hoping that some of these questions are questions that you also have in your heart, and to the best of my abilities, I will answer those questions. The very first question here says, "Dear married people, do you kiss in the morning before brushing?" Yes, we do, and it depends. Some people are happy to kiss with the mouth they woke up with. Some people are very finicky about things like this. But if you make brushing before bed a habit, I think you should be good to go. It's a beautiful feeling when you wake up in the morning and you're able to roll over to your partner and give them a good morning kiss. The essence of that is destroyed when you have to wake up, first of all, go and brush your mouth and then say good morning. So make brushing your teeth a habit so that when you sleep and wake up in the morning, your breath is not so bad and you can kiss, if that is something you are looking forward to doing when you get married. Another person asked, and this is really funny. The person said, "Dear married people, do you pray before you do the do?" Some people in the comments said actually they do. And there's someone said that actually I do, and there's a difference when I don't. Another person said, "God, I beg, who be this?" To be honest, these things are not cast in stone. There are people who I know personally who have said that because coming together as a couple is such a powerful thing ordained by God, you can pray before it happens and maybe attach an expectation to it, but it's not cast in stone, and it's meant to be enjoyed. Not to say that you won't enjoy it if you don't pray, but some of these things shouldn't be so rigid. They shouldn't be so rigid. Have fun, enjoy yourself. It is God that made the fun. It is God that made it as beautiful as it is. So don't try to over spiritualize the experience. But if it's something that yourself and your partner agree to do, then by all means go ahead and pray in tongues and scatter everywhere before you do. This person says, "If you were to rewind time, sincerely, would you marry your husband again?" The answer to this question is different for different people. A million times. Sometimes I imagine my life and I wonder how my life would have been if I'd ended up with somebody else, if I'd not gotten married to Francis. And I'm just like, God, thank you for the wisdom to make this decision, because I love my life. I'm not going to lie to you. I love my life. I like the way things have turned out. I'm able to look back on this particular decision. Yes, it's just been 3 years of marriage, but I'm able to look back on this decision, and every day, and I mean every single day, I have cause to say, God, thank you for helping me make this decision. So if I were to rewind the hands of time, would I marry my husband again? Yes. For some people, it might be no, because they probably didn't put a couple of things into consideration. They didn't think some things through properly. They were not informed of the kind of decision they were making. They didn't have enough advice or counsel. So every day they live in regret. But for people like that, what I would say is, especially if nothing seriously toxic is happening, I honestly believe that there is nothing you cannot walk through, especially if the two of you are willing to put in the work. Now you've gotten to the point where I wish I did not make this decision. But what do you do going forward? Do you sit down and keep regretting that decision? Or do the both of you take your lives in your own hands and decide to make something beautiful out of this? If the both of you can't do that, then I mean, you might want to have other conversations around moving on, because I feel like the rest of your life is too long for you to be miserable in a very significant area of your life, like marriage. This person says, dear married people, do you sometimes wish you were single and can live life the way you like? Marriage is not a trap. Marriage is not a trap. It shouldn't be. If you feel trapped in your marriage, that's an anomaly. And yes, when I say this, a lot of people say that I'm speaking from a place of privilege because of the kind of relationship I have. But marriage is not a trap. I used to also have this fear before I got married. Once I get married, I won't be able to do the things I want to do. I won't be able to just go anywhere I like. That's not true. That's not true. Yes, you have to put a lot more things into consideration than you used to do before. But if you have always been a responsible person, if you do this right, it shouldn't be difficult. I'm living life exactly the way I want to live my life. If I want to get up and go somewhere tomorrow, I get up and go. I just inform my husband because it's a responsible thing to do. Marriage is not a trap. Yes, because you are now married to somebody, there are more things to consider than before you start making decisions. There are things you need to put into consideration, but ultimately, marriage is not a trap. This person said, they're married people. I beg, where can I find Mr. Right? Please, if you know where to find Mr. Right, maybe put it in the comment section so that we can help somebody find Mr. Right. Somebody said, what's the worst thing about being married? To be very honest, in all sincerity, I'm not sure I can answer that question. What's the worst thing about being married? Somebody, let me read some responses and we'll see if this makes sense. A lot of people said thinking of what to cook every day. If you've been on this channel for a little while, one thing you know about me, or if you didn't already know, I don't like cooking. I don't enjoy the process of cooking. I love food, but I hate is a strong word, but I really don't like cooking. One thing that helps with cooking, with marriage, with everything in life is putting systems in place to make your life easy. If you're someone who cooks every day, you will have headache of what to eat. Yes, I recall when I just got married, I would just be wondering, what are we going to eat today? Even before I got married, in my parents' house, there was always a question of, what are we going to eat? What are we going to eat? What are we going to eat? And to be honest, I don't have that brain bandwidth to be stressing my head every single day thinking of what to eat. And considering how much I don't like cooking, I really cannot subject myself to cooking every single day. I had to create a system of having a food timetable, so it changes monthly and it's quite flexible. I have at least something that guides me and lets me know that on Monday this is what we're eating, what we're having for breakfast, lunch, dinner. We really don't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's a lot of food in a day. But this it's just like a guiding rule to say, not rule, sort of a system in place that says this is what we eat on Monday, this is what we eat on Tuesday, this is what we eat on Wednesday. Of course, if on Tuesday what is on the schedule is not what I want to eat, I'll go for what I want to eat. But that helps me not to spend so much brain power thinking about what to cook. I believe that if you're able to put systems in place to help take care of that and do your shopping once or twice a month, it really saves you from stressing in the kitchen and always thinking of what to cook. But personally, I don't think genuinely I can answer the question of what's the worst thing about marriage. This person says, is it bad to ask your man to tell you his whereabouts and who he is with at all the time? How is it in marriage? Is it a man's thing to think once he provides, nothing else matters? And the statement that there is no equality. So there is a lot of questions that this person is trying to ask. Let's take it one after the other. The issue of whereabouts. Honest truth is that in a healthy relationship, you don't have to bug anybody about where they are. Accountability. I mentioned it earlier. Once you are with somebody and your lives are intertwined, the responsible thing to do is to give this person updates even without them asking. Now, people have different ideologies, different mindsets. Some people believe that I'm a man, I don't owe you an explanation. And once I provide, don't ask me questions, don't monitor me. Some people see it as micromanaging them or monitoring them or being excessively obsessed about their whereabouts. Some people read this as lack of trust, and it's because of the kind of experiences that they've had in their lives and in other relationships without being told. If you are leaving the house, the ideal thing to do is say, my darling wife, I'm coming, I need to get to so and so place and so place. If you made a detour, the responsible thing to do is to say, oh, I know I told you I was going to the salon to have my hair cut, but I just made a stop at so and so, and I will not be back as quickly as I thought I would, just so you know. Of course, it's not etched in stone. Sometimes we forget to give these updates, but when your partner calls to say, how are you, where are you, I'm not seeing you, it's from a place of concern. Well, it should be from a place of concern, not necessarily from a place of monitoring your movement, because remember, your life is now intertwined with somebody else. Whatever happens to you automatically affects this person's life. So if anything happens to you and you go somewhere and nobody knows your whereabouts, somebody somewhere is going to have a miserable life because they do not know your whereabouts. So I don't think it's a big deal in marriage to find out where your partner is. You as a person, be responsible enough to let your partner know where you are part-time. The other question she asked is it a man's thing to think that once he provides, nothing else matters? Provision is way beyond just finances. I know a lot of people say, I want a provider, and all they think about is money. Providing is way beyond finances. Many women are doing very, very well for themselves these days and are happy to contribute to the upkeep of the family. They are making good money. They want a certain lifestyle. They are happy to contribute to the home. They are happy to, make their lives better. So if you come and all you have to offer is money, that's not enough. That's not enough. You are the priest of the home. Are you covering the home in prayers? You are a bridegroom. Is he ensuring that you are a well-watered garden? Because he will account for you at the end of the day. So providing as a man is way beyond just finances. The children, parenting is a two-person job. Is he an available father? Or is he a father who just throws money at his children and they have a father who is alive but they are fatherless children? Providing money is not where the job of a man ends. He provides money, he provides emotional support, he provides spiritual guidance and covering over the family, he provides leadership to the family, he stands in the gap as a father to his children, he ensures that the home is okay. Of course, this is a joint, it's a joint partnership. It's why the wife is also the helpmate, but I completely disagree that the place of the man in the home ends with providing just money. I completely disagree. It's an anomaly. It shouldn't be. If money is the only thing that a man can offer you, please move on. The last question is the statement, she said, and the statement that there is no equality. Before God, man and woman are equal. In a marriage, however, the man is the head of the home. He being the head of the home or the leader of the home means that he serves, he's the lead servant of that home. The Bible says that a man should love his wife as Christ loves the church and should be willing to lay his life down for her. That's a huge responsibility. That's a very, very, very huge responsibility. With the issue of equality, a man and a woman in a marriage are partners. The both of them have to partner together to ensure that marriage works. While God recognizes the man as the head of the home, a responsible leader also knows his areas of weaknesses and is self-aware enough to step aside for someone who has superior knowledge to take the lead on certain things. Do you understand? Nobody should be made to feel less of themselves in a marriage. If you're in a marriage where your husband is constantly reminding you that you are just a woman, there is a big problem. There's a big mindset problem. It shouldn't be. This person says, do you ever get tired of living of seeing or living with your partner? No. Actually, no. My husband leaves the house for a few minutes. I'm wondering, where are you going? Why are you going? Where are you? When are you coming back? And vice versa. Today I didn't come back on time, and going to send me a message to say, where is my wife? When is my wife coming home? Da, 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 da. Whenever my husband is coming from work, or whenever I'm coming to the house, there is this excitement. There is always a whole welcome thing that happens at the door. So no, when you marry somebody who, beyond just loving the person emotionally, someone who you really like, someone whose presence you enjoy, someone who you've been able to build a friendship with, you won't get tired. Honestly, you won't get tired. You will always look forward to seeing that person. Even if you have been together from morning to night, the moment the person says they want to go out, you just be wondering, where are you going to? Why are you going out? Stay with me. So, no. Someone also asked about personal space in marriage. It is okay to want some personal space in marriage. It is just important that you communicate it. It's also important to know who you are dealing with. When you tell some people that you want personal space, what that comes off as is that you don't like them, you don't want to be around them, you're probably not happy with them. Over time, it's important to understand your partner, understand how they take information, and be able to communicate properly to them. There is a way to tell your partner that I need some personal space without them getting angry. There is also wisdom in taking because of course they won't be with you 24/7. Lots of people have work that they are doing. If you're someone who likes personal space, then take advantage of the times where you're not together to just, decongest and all. With time, you can even learn to have personal space with the person around. I mean, you're just around the person, but you're not necessarily talking, and they're not disturbing your thoughts. If you like, I think with time, you should be able to learn to communicate that you want personal space without it causing any problem. And there's nothing wrong with wanting personal space in your marriage. This one says, do you all marry the man you love? Me, I married the man I love. Oh, I don't know about others. There's a couple of questions about kids, but I can't answer those questions because I don't have kids yet. For those who got married within a few months of dating, how was it like? Do men really like someone enough in just a few months? So I don't have this experience. Myself and Francis knew each other for the longest time before we got married, but I know a few people who have this experience that are quite close to me. When a man wants something, he would not leave any doubts in your mind as to the fact that that is what he wants. And yes, men can make up their mind in a very few months. Once he sees what he has been looking for, he goes for it straight on. So yes, those kind of marriages exist. They do well. It's just that it will take them a while to really understand each other because they're just getting to know each other. Imagine just meeting somebody and getting married in 3 months. There is no way you won't have friction because it will take you some time to really, really adjust to the other person. This person says, what's your favorite thing about being married? I think my favorite thing about being married is having my own person. Like when whatever comes to me or whatever comes at me in life, I know that there's somebody for me. Someone whose primary responsibility is me. Someone who wakes up every morning and has the duty to pray for me. Someone who my well-being is foremost in their heart, and vice versa. Someone who I am assured in the love that this person has for me. I think for me, one of the best things about marriage is having my own person, somebody that I can completely be myself with, someone with whom I can express literally every side of me without judgment, without fear, without thinking too much. Someone whom I can just, my own person. I don't know how else to explain this, but bottom line is the reality of having my own person, somebody who is mine, solely mine. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about marriage. How do you keep the love going? You build a friendship, you keep having conversations, open yourself up to the other person, go out, have shared experiences. When I say shared experiences, not just sitting down and watching movies together, actually doing things together, learning a language together, doing art together, traveling together, doing things that you both love doing that bring you close to each other. That is how you really keep the love going, because you won't always be lovey-dovey, mushy. No, but if this person is your friend, if this person is your G, if you learn to be comfortable around this person, you learn to give graces when necessary, I think you guys will be fine. This person says, in choosing a husband, will you go for someone who is your spec or someone who can take care of you? My dear women, we love to be taken care of. I love to be taken care of. I love it when I am being taken care of, when my husband thinks of me and is considerate towards me and buys me nice little things. But we're not charity cases. We're not charity cases. Marriage is not a poverty alleviation program. You can't base the decision of who to spend the rest of your life with on very whimsical things like him being your spec or him just having money to take care of you. There is way more to life than that. Does he allow you the space to be who you are? Does he encourage you to be the best? Does he go out of his way to ensure that you are exactly what you have come to, what God created you to be? Does he respect you? Does he honor you? Is he the kind of father you will want for your children? Does he talk down at you? Does he protect you? Does he pray over you? Is he the kind of man that you know that will go with you on this journey? And at the end of the day, because he's in your life, you will fulfill the purpose for which we were brought to this earth. Life is beyond. It's not a scholarship program. Marriage is not a scholarship program. I don't know what to say, but I think that those are very funny. It's not bad to have a man who will take care of you. And it's even better when he's God-fearing, he's everything, and then he's your spec. It's beautiful, but there is way more to life and marriage than that. If you marry your spec today and he abuses you emotionally or doesn't allow you to be or doesn't give you the space to thrive, he will become ugly in your eye in the next few months. So let's reprioritize the criteria by which we choose our men. A lot of questions around, are people really happy in their marriages? Are people managing? Is it worth it? Are people just, see, the truth is bad news sells best. On social media, blogs and other news carriers have been able to carry bad news, especially surrounding marriages. When a celebrity's marriage breaks, everybody hears about it. When something goes wrong, everybody hears about it. But trust me, there are people who are happily married in this life. There are people who believe that their lives are actually better because they chose someone. There are people who are well taken care of and nourished, male and female. The thing with people who are very happy in their marriage is that many of them don't take the time to come out and talk about things like this, and we need more people to do that. They're just happy in their homes, enjoying their marriages. They don't even have the time. Many of them enjoy the moment so much that they don't remember to, take pictures, preserve memories. But trust me, there are people who are happy in their marriages. This one says, dear married people, I think I found the one, but I'm scared of getting married. I need help, please. I used to be very mortified. I used to be very scared of marriage. Just the idea of marriage, not necessarily because of the person I was getting married to, but I realized that it's because of what I had internalized. It's because of some of the things that I had seen around me. So what I started to do was gain knowledge, surround myself with people whose marriages I admired. I began to work on my mindset, to help me understand or to just change my mindset around marriage. So talk to people around you, talk to married people around you. There are happy marriages that exist. You also want to debunk a couple of things that you've seen happening around you, maybe growing up from your family and all that. It happens. People are scared of marriage, but if you found somebody and you think that is a good one and you both are willing to put in the work, then give it a shot. Don't allow your fear hold you back from experiencing something as beautiful as marriage. Is it worth it? Yes, I recommend. Marriage is very worth it. I do recommend. Just do it with the right person. This question says, how do you manage the female friend of your husband? Now, different things work for different people. At the end of the day, both of you need to be able to define boundaries. There are people who outrightly say, once I get married, my partner can no longer have friends of the opposite sex, and the both of them agree, and it's fine. There are people who will step back on a friendship because they are now married. It's different for different people. I have male friends, my husband has female friends, but we all understand boundaries. We've also grown to the point where I understand that if my husband tells me that somebody likes me beyond friendship, I agree, because it has always turned out to be true. He's a man. There are certain things that he will see that I cannot see. If a lady is around my husband and I know that she has affections for my husband beyond just platonic friendship, I know, and he has learned to also take heed based on what I tell him. So the both of us respect each other enough to not put anybody, no friend can come before any of us. So if I'm not comfortable with my husband's female friend and I let him know, he steps back immediately. Same happens with me. If you're not comfortable with a friend that your husband has, as long as you're not an insecure person, you also need to deal with whatever insecurity you have. And a lot of things that we see on social media also feed our insecurities. So you need to deal with that. But if genuinely you are not comfortable with a friendship that your husband has or your wife has with somebody of the opposite sex, it is important that you bring it up with them. And as a partner, when your partner tells you, I am not comfortable with this relationship or with this friendship, be wise enough to do something about it. Be wise enough to do something about it. If you too, you say, oh, my wife is insecure, my husband is insecure, you open your two eyes and you married an insecure person. Whatever they tell you about not being comfortable about somebody that you are with, you need to help them. Because if genuinely your partner is insecure, do you want to be doing things to feed that insecurity? No, you want to help them get over that insecurity, but not by feeding the things that they tell you they're not comfortable with. If somebody tells you, I'm not comfortable with this friend, you should be responsible enough to assure them and do something about it. The last question here, or the last question I'll be taking on this video says, what is one advice you give to a single person? So I hear a lot of people say that I've given up on love. I don't this happy marriage, I don't think it's for me. I have seen a lot of shege, so I'm not, people are just lucky to have each other. What I would say is, I know that there is a lot of luck. There's a lot of luck at play when you find the right person. But what I'll say is keep an open mind. Don't settle. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. If you're someone who wants a specific kind of marriage, who wants a happy home, who wants to have a partner that can support them and also allow themselves to be supported by you, someone whom you want to wake up as many times as possible and say, God, I thank you for giving me this person. If this is the kind of desire you have for yourself, I would say don't settle. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. Settle down, work on yourself, pray to God, keep an open mind, open your eyes, just open your mind and allow God to help you. I think the bottom line is don't settle for rubbish, because you will regret it. The rest of your life is too long to be lived in an unhappy marriage. And the thing with this marriage is there is no happy marriage, a neutral marriage, and an unhappy marriage. If the marriage is not happy, it's unhappy. It's the stark truth. If the marriage is not happy, then it's an unhappy marriage. So if you're single, I'd say trust God, keep an open mind, work on yourself, and hope for the best. I really wish you the best. I wish you all the happiness in the world. If marriage is something that you're considering, then I pray that God will grant you the desires of your heart, exceeding abundantly far above all you can wish for, ask, or even imagine. If you have come this far in this video, thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Praise. I film about lifestyle, family, and tech. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel so that we can grow this community. If you have additional questions, or you have contributions, or you have comments regarding some of the things I've said, or if you even disagree with some of the things I have said, then please leave a comment in the comment section. I would like to read from you. Let's carry on this conversation in the comment section. Please like this video and share. Very important, share this video with your single friends. Till I come your way again in my next video, thank you so much for watching. Bye.